Hello friends, welcome to another video on my YouTube channel, and in today's video you will learn how you can connect your Dialogflow agent to a database. In our case we are going to use MongoDB, and we will use Python programming language and Replit platform so that we can build the integration and we can deploy it as well. Before we move forward, I'll assume that you have some knowledge of Dialogflow and basic programming understanding. Also, you need to have account with Replit and MongoDB. So let's get started. Here I am on my YouTube demo boat. It has two intent, default fallback and default welcome intent. So in the simulator, if I say hi, the response is coming from default welcome intent. Hi, how can I help you today? And if I add something that the bot will not understand, that response is coming from default fallback intent. The idea in this demonstration is to fetch these messages from MongoDB. So in that way, we will connect Dialogflow and MongoDB, and now you can replicate the same functionality to provide answers to other intent as well. So I will first come to Replit and I'll click on create new Replit. I'll choose Python programming language. I'll say Dialogflow MongoDB and I'll create the Replit. A link to this Replit is available in the description of this video. So I'll first create a folder src, and inside that I'll create a new file app.py. I'll create another folder helper, and inside I'll create a file database underscore api.py. Now in the cell I will first install the packages that we are going to need. These are Flask and PyMongo. I will hit enter. So this will install those packages. Here in the app.py, I'll write my code from Flask, import Flask, and I'll create my app with the Flask class. Next, I'll create my first route that will be my home route, and I'll say def home. I'll just return OK and 200 status. Let me save this, and in the main.py I'll say from src.app import app, and I'll say if underscore underscore name underscore underscore equals to underscore underscore main underscore underscore, and then I'll run the app on host 0.0.0.0 port 5000, and I'll use debug equals to true. When I save this and when I run this, oh, it says cannot import. Oops, I'm not sure where the code went. I think something went wrong while I wrote the code. So from Flask import Flask and app equals to Flask underscore underscore name underscore underscore, and my first route is home route, and I'll say def home, and I'll return OK and 200 status. Let me save this, and if I run it, hopefully we'll see. Oh, it's my bad. When I run it, yeah, we'll see that this is our URL and it shows okay response. So let me copy this, and if I paste it here, so we'll see the actual URL, because in the here there are some uppercase letters as well. So now I'll create another route, app.route, and this will be the route where Dialogflow will send its request, and I'll use methods equals to post. So all the post request on this Dialogflow route will come here, and I'll say def Dialogflow, and let me import two things, request and JSONify. So if I search for let's say Dialogflow ES webhook response, we will see that webhook response needs to be in this format. So let me copy that. Let me come here and I'll return JSONify, and I'll provide the output. Yeah, it looks good. So let me save this. So let me change this to, let's say, from webhook, and also let me send the 200 status as well. So when I save this, and let me copy the Replit URL, I'll go to fulfillment and I'll provide my URL followed by Dialogflow, because all the request will come on Dialogflow route. So now if I go to intents, and let me just connect this default welcome intent to that. So for that, I'll go to fulfillment section and I'll enable it, and let me save this. Now if I say hi, yeah, we see a response from webhook. So our application is working and we are successfully able to respond from this application. Now let's create the MongoDB API so that we can, go to MongoDB, search for something and get back. So here, okay, let me open it here. So now on the MongoDB side, if you create a new MongoDB account, let me go to my account first. When you go to MongoDB and create your account, you will see that you will have a project, and inside that project there are a few things that you need to do before you can communicate with MongoDB. First, go to network access, and here click on add IP address, and you'll see a button called allow access from anywhere. You click on that and confirm. That will allow access from anywhere. Second, on the database access, you must have your user. If you don't have your user, you click on add new database user, create a user and password, and make sure you remember the password as well. In the connection section, you will see connect using MongoDB Compass. You click on that, you will get this string. Copy that, and let me close this. Now in order to create a new database and collection, I'll click on browse collections. Here I'll click on create database. I'll say Dialogflow MongoDB, and my collection name is, let's say, responses, and I'll hit create. So this will create a MongoDB database, and inside that a collection. I'll insert a new document. Let's say intent name is default welcome intent, and I need to make sure that this is the same as this. So let me copy that, and let me come here, let me paste this. And for let's say for response, I'll say response will be like, hi, how can I help you today? And let me insert this. Okay, so this is inserted. Now what we will do is that we will search for this intent name that matches with our intent name, and we will fetch the response and show it to the user. So for that, let's search for Python MongoDB and if we come here on the MongoDB official documentation, you can find all the things needed to get started with Python and MongoDB on this official documentation. Since we need a simple get functionality, I'll copy paste some code so that we can do it very easily. And yeah, so I have that. So let me copy some few functionality, and I'll come here and I'll go to database.py. I accidentally wrote all the code in database.py, so I'll use the latest code. Now our DB name and our collection name. So my DB name is Dialogflow -MongoDB. My collection name is what is my collection name? My collection name is responses. So let me copy this so that we don't make any spelling mistakes. And this is my DB name and this is my collection name, and we will use this connection string from environment variable so that when someone look at your code, they don't accidentally get your credentials. So I'll go to databases, and here connect, click on this, and I'll copy this. I'll come here, I'll provide the URL, remove the test and slash as well, and make sure you replace your password with your value and click on add secret. Now let me just format few things. So here we will need client, and here we will need DB. So that means from client get this database, and from this database get this collection. Now I'll create a function def get responses, and it will take intent name, that will be a string, and it will return string the response for that particular intent name. And let's say result equals to collection dot find underscore one. There is a method called find underscore one, and it will take the key name, so that is intent name, and value to search, that is our intent name, and let's just print result. Now in order to run this particular file, what we need to do is we need to copy everything and go to main.py and paste it there, and I'll comment everything so that it doesn't run, and I'll paste the code, and let me run the code. So it says okay OS, so let me import that. So import OS, let me run this. Yeah, client is not defined. Did you mean client? Oh sorry, I had a typo here. Let me save this, let me run this again, hopefully this time. Oh, I did not call the function. So get response, and let's say default welcome intent. Let me save this and let me run this. Yeah, we got the response, so I can print result response. Let me save this and run this again. So yeah, this is the value we want to return, so I'll return that. Now I'll copy this into database.py. Now our function is ready, so we can use it into this app.py. So if I come here and if I say data equals to request dot get JSON, and let me print that first. Let me save this, and here on the main py, let me uncomment everything, save this, and when I run it, it will start the server. Now if I come here and if I say hi, this will send a request to our web application. Web application will send a response from Webhook. So you can see here, this is the incoming request, and it has many useful parameters. For example, query text, action name, if parameters are extracted from the query or not. And if you look down, there is a property called intent, and intent has a property display name, which is our default welcome intent. And if I go to Dialogflow, and if you go to diagnostic info, you will see the same thing as well. So inside query result, we have intent and display name. So let's grab that. So here data, then query result, then intent, and then display name. So let me save this and let me run this again. Okay, and if I come here and if I say hi, we will see from Webhook, and here we will see the intent name, that is default welcome intent. So now what I want to do is that I'll import the function from helper dot database API import get response, and here let's say this is my intent name, and I'll say response equals to get response, and I'll provide my intent name here. And here, instead of sending this, I'll send back the response. Hopefully this should work. So let me run this again. Yeah, so okay. So when I now say hi, yeah, the response, hi, how can help you, is coming from get response. Get response is getting the response from this database. And here in my Dialogflow MongoDB responses, we have, hi, how can I help you today? And let me change this to how can I help you today, and I'll say I can help you in different ways. For example, it's not correct sentence, but let's just use that. So when I update that and when I go to Dialogflow, and now when I say hi, you will see the effect here. Yeah. So this is how you can connect MongoDB collection to Dialogflow. And I hope you understand that you can, do much more complicated thing using this connection. So here we have made a good connection using Replit for Dialogflow and MongoDB, and and I hope that you have gained some knowledge out of this video. And again, the link for this Replit is available on the description of the video. If you like my work, please consider subscribing to my channel. It helps. Thank you for watching. Peace.